Good morning. My name is Carol Hokana. Last month I went on a medical and educational mission trip to Haiti with Michelle Gillig, who's back there, and Caroline Larson over there. And Caroline is giving a slideshow today on our trip in the library during coffee hour. We three joined up with the mission team from Parish of the Epiphany in Winchester, and several of the members are sitting in the third pew there and fourth pew. Last year, St. Paul's partnered with the Epiphany team on a similar mission trip to Haiti. The three others from St. Paul's who joined me on that trip were Michelle, Chris Anderson, and Alex Bro. Mission trips cost a lot of money. You have to leave your loved ones for a week. You need to take time off from your job, do fundraising, plan, and prepare for a trip. It's a lot of work. So why did I go to Haiti? I like to help people. Since I've been a small child, I wanted to be a Peace Corps volunteer. I know a mission trip is not the Peace Corps, but this trip satisfied some of the things I like about the Peace Corps. Besides helping people, I like to travel and learn about different cultures. And I thought I might be inspired by the people I served. But is that enough to justify a mission trip? Let me share a couple of stories to lead you to my response. Last year's trip was a hard one for me. Remember when I spoke in front of you all last year? I was crying, for God's sake. Check out the video online at the homepage of St. Paul's. I was shaken by the helplessness I felt on the trip and afterwards. A 3-month-old baby girl we had seen at one of the mobile clinics was severely dehydrated, and I don't know if she is still alive. That haunts me. Although I am not a nurse, I'm a former software engineer and a former middle school math and science teacher. I was the triage nurse who did the intake for the baby, and even I could see immediately that she was in serious trouble. I quickly brought Dr. Alex Bro to see her, and he began working with the pharmacy to give some sort of hydration to this small infant in a place where we had no IVs and other equipment. Meanwhile, I held the baby. I looked into her eyes and begged her to be strong. I pleaded with her to fight hard, to live. I didn't want her to die. I prayed to God, please let her live. Please let her grow up to be healthy and strong and happy. I've said that same prayer for my own 2 daughters. Please let them grow up to be strong and healthy and happy. I say it all the time. I sometimes pray that for everyone in this world, except I haven't met everyone in this world, but I did meet this baby. I held this baby. I cried for her and prayed for her. I don't know if it did any good. She left the clinic that day hydrated and alert, thanks to Dr. Alex and Nurse Michelle. But I don't know if her mother ever found a place that could give her the formula she needed or teach her how to feed a small baby something other than rice and beans. I don't know if she's alive. Coming home last month from this year's trip, I felt less helpless because I know that we did some good. A similar situation to last year. Another baby girl, 9-month-old Woodlove, came in undernourished and severely dehydrated. I was not the triage nurse for her. I was busy holding another baby at that time, but more on that in a minute. I had the same prayer for Woodlove. Please let her live. Please let her grow up to be strong and healthy and happy. Just the night before, an organization in Léogâne, but based in Chattanooga, called Children's Nutrition Program of Haiti, CMP, had spoken to our team about the work they do for undernourished and malnourished children and babies in the greater Léogâne area. They go into a community and find what they call the positive deviants, those mothers whose children are well-fed and happy. Then they hire those mothers to train the other mothers in the community how to cook nutritious meals from whatever food is available locally. That is CNP's outpatient services. They also have an inpatient facility that treats the babies and children who are in dire need of medical help due to undernutrition and malnutrition. That is exactly what Woodlove needed and got. She was admitted to CMP's inpatient facility outside of Léogâne, where she got enough nourishment and gained enough strength over a couple of weeks to be discharged just last week. She and her mother have been referred to CMP's outpatient services, so she stands a really good chance of thriving. She is alive. Our medical team helped save her life. There's another young child's life that I would like to help save. He's not in danger of dying, but because of poor eyesight, he is not being educated, and his prospects for a job will be very slim when he grows up. I want him to grow up to be healthy and happy too. His name is Alexander. I first met Alexander on our mission last year, when our entourage pulled into the yard of St. Mark's Episcopal Church and School in the mountain village of Twan. There was, as usual, a crowd of sick or injured people waiting to be seen at our mobile clinic. With my translator, Victor, I headed for the children waiting with their families. I talked to them, asked them questions, took their pictures with permission, while the rest of our team began setting up the clinic. This is when I met Alexander, 5 years old, a small, slender boy with a huge smile and a sweet, sweet personality. He stood out from the other children for 3 reasons. 1, unlike the rest of the children, Alexander was not wearing a school uniform. 2, his personality was really just over the top adorable. And 3, he had crossed eyes. We discovered that the reason he wasn't in school was because of his poor vision. The teachers didn't think he could do well not seeing the board, and his family was too poor to pay for medical help. That news was deflating for our team members. Here was a boy whose future didn't look too promising because of a condition that is easily treated in the US. With no education and poor vision, how was he going to support himself? What could he do in rural Haiti? What kind of a life would he lead? A few weeks after we got home last year, one of our mission teammates, Nancy Mims, asked if anyone had a photo of Alexander. I did, because of my talking with the kids. So she wanted to see if she could get someone to help Alexander. Fantastic, I thought. And then to myself, good luck. I doubted that we could help him, we being in Massachusetts and he being in a mountain village in Haiti. We didn't know his last name, his age, his address, or anything about him other than that he was Alexander, so sweet, so adorable. Fortunately, Nancy was not the doubting Thomas that I was. Even though she does not work in the medical field, over the next many months, she found an ophthalmologist in New York who travels frequently to Haiti and was willing to examine him and possibly treat him. Nancy also got the name and email address of the new priest at St. Mark's in Twan, who thought he might know the boy. My doubt started to dissolve. And then this year's mission trip. We were scheduled to go to Twan again, not to St. Mark's, but to a different church in the same village. I will read excerpts from my journal about that day. At lunchtime, Nancy, my translator Victor, and I walked to St. Mark's, where we last saw Alexander a year ago, and asked people if they knew a boy named Alexander with crossed eyes. No, they did not, though one person suggested we go to the school office and ask there, which we did. The 2 school officials listened to our story, but did not seem to know him, and I wondered why that was. In this small village, how many kids named Alexander could there be who had crossed eyes? If they didn't know him, maybe he had moved away, or maybe he was only visiting last year? Were we not going to find him? One of the school officials told a student, "Go find an Alexander." 3 minutes later, a little boy appeared in the doorway. There he was, Alexander. Nancy and I were stunned at first, and then overjoyed. We took a couple of photos of him and then asked him to take us to his mama. So he did. Mama greeted us cautiously, as I would be with anyone who was walking down the street with one of my kids. Nancy explained who she was and what she hoped to do for Alexander, because she wanted to get Mama's permission to proceed. Mama said, of course, she wanted his eyes fixed. Hooray! We encouraged her to go back to the mobile clinic with us, about a 10-minute walk. So she ran into the house to get her other 2 children, Claudia, about 3, and baby Georgina, 3 months old. I called dibs on the baby, while Nancy held Alex's hand. Claudia held her mama's hand, and we walked back to the clinic where we had all 4 of them examined by a doctor. It was baby Georgina I was holding when baby Woodlove had come in. Nancy and I could not stop smiling. We had found Alexander. As they were leaving the clinic to return home, I hugged Mama and told her she was a good mother. Nancy said that Mama beamed when she heard that. I'm glad. So Mama will bring Alex to the Hôpital Sainte-Croix on a morning when a local ophthalmologist will be there to examine him. Alex may be able to be treated in Léogâne, or the New York doctor may treat him in Port-au-Prince, but the wheels are in motion to give this wonderful, sweet boy a much more promising future, the chance to see and to go to school. Alleluia. 2 children, baby Woodlove and Alexander, just 2 of many that were seen on the trip, made a difference to me and we to them. It only takes 1 adult to make a difference, as Nancy is doing for Alexander. Here's a portion of a poem written in the 1500s by Teresa of Avila. Christ has no body but yours, no hands, no feet on your earth but yours. Yours are the eyes with which he looks compassion in this world. Yours are the feet with which he walks to do good. Yours are the hands with which he blesses all the world. Yours are the hands, yours are the feet, yours are the eyes. You are his body. Christ has no body now but yours. To get back to my earlier question, is it worth going on a mission trip? Yes, for me it was. I saw how Nancy was the eyes, feet, and hands of God. I think I could be that too. Amen.